That's basically.
All right.
Yes.
So this is in general a discussion about what is privilege access management. As you might already know, privilege access management is a way to secure our servers, our privileged accounts and their passwords. With this, we can rotate the password of our privileged accounts. We can provide sessions to the users of their privileged servers, be it a Windows server, Linux, or network devices also in case. So these are some important components of a privilege access management tool, regardless of their vendor, be it CyberArk, BeyondTrust, Psychotex, CAPAM. Every PAM tool comprises of three major components: access manager, session manager, and password manager. And as the name suggests, access manager take cares of the access that will be provided to the end user, right? The end goal, the RDP connection or the SSH connection. That is basically the job of access manager. Whereas the session manager is responsible for en- enforcing or providing the monitoring controls on that particular access that we have taken via PAM. And lastly, password manager is responsible for encrypting the password, protecting the password, and rotating the password. Upcoming slides talk further in detail about these components, but you guys are already having a great understanding of a PAM tool, so I would be skipping that. But yes, this we need to discuss, that why do the organization need PAM tool in general? First and foremost, the reason would be that with password safe or with any given particular PAM tool, we protect our organizations from cyber attacks. Although it is mentioned at the last, but it holds most of the weightage and major weightage, because we protect our organization or end users or clients organization from cyber attacks by implementing PAM tool. How we prevent? Because the passwords would be constantly rotating. Suppose even a hacker or a malicious insider is able to get his hands on a privileged account, for example, domain enterprise admin, and they were in their way to use that password. But PAM tool is keep on changing the password, right? So PAM change the password, but they won't be able to use that account anymore. So this is one way of protecting, and this is very in general layman term reason which I have given to you, that password is changing. There are other ways to protect our accounts and information. Other way is fast track to compliance, means some of the policies that are being carved out by the government, and in some countries they are already in place. For example, GDPR or HIPAA, right? They there are policies which needs to be complied by various organizations, and with these tools and other tools also, for example IAM, SOC or SOC tools, we comply to those policies. So this is also necessary. There is a hidden point in this one, that you have to take cybersecurity insurance for your organizations in order to recover yourself from the debt or the business loss that might happen to you when you go under a cyber attack. So if you do not comply to these policies, you cannot go ahead and claim for these cybersecurity insurance. Now these are some value addition points that saves time and money, and powerful security tool solution tool. So these are some added benefits. This is just to emphasize on why privilege access management is required. As it says in the tagline, privilege is at the center of attack life cycle. Attack can happen in many forms, but a serious blow to the organization happens when a malicious uh, insider trader or a hacker get their hands on a highly privileged accounts, because then they have the key to the kingdom. So privileged accounts are also called as key to the kingdom. And if someone gets access to that privileged accounts, they can move laterally, they can disrupt the business, they can extract the data. Many things could happen. So first and foremost, in any organization, if you are recommending anything, obviously the SOC tools are also required, blocking and firewall is also required, but we need to protect our privileged accounts. This is an architecture or flow of a PS cloud, the password safe tool that we are going to study about or get trained upon. Comes in various forms. It comes in hardware appliance, it comes in virtual appliance, it comes in terms of cloud. We can deploy the its images to AWS, Azure as well. There is a new provision by BeyondTrust that they host the password safe instance on their own Azure cloud and give you password safe appliance as a service. So it is called PaaS, or password safe cloud as a service. So this is the flow of that particular architecture. However, why this slide is here, because it explains brilliantly how you can, or how an end user would see the traffic going and coming. So an end user would log into his own client machine, his own machine, laptop or desktop, whatever, and then he would access the PAM portal. PAM portal could be hosted over the cloud, or it could be hosted inside the client's network itself, or our own organization's network. And then from there, the sessions would be, a user selects the particular server which he wants to gain access to. He clicks on them, and a session file is downloaded, RDP file, for example. That RDP file will go to the resource broker in terms of password safe cloud. But if this is not password safe cloud architecture, then PAM portal would be in this place instead of resource broker. And from there, the target server would be reached over port 3389. So looking back at it once again, user initiate a session to PAM portal, which could be on the cloud or which could be inside here where the resource broker is. Then an user selects a particular server, Windows server, for example, and an RDP file is downloaded. And then RDP file initiates a connection to the resource broker if it is a password safe cloud, and if it's a on-prem solution or virtual appliance solution, then directly to the PAM portal, which would be present here. Then the PAM appliance or resource broker would initiate a traffic to the target device, the Windows server, over port 3389. And this image, RDP inside RDP, would then be presented to the end user on his laptop or desktop. So it is also called as RDP over SSL. It is also called transparent login, RDP inside RDP. Why it is called transparent login? Because in this situation, user didn't enter any username or password, and the login happened transparently. So this is the basic flow of the password safe tool, how communications would go. This could be similar in other uh, PAM tools as well. Like I was mentioning for,
So Ram, Vijay here. Hello.
yes, Vijay,
So Ram, can we do this proxy port customization for RDP and SSL session? It is possible or not?
4489 and 4422. See, it
Yes.
is highly discouraged by Beyonders themselves, but it is configurable.
No, that
Although,
is okay. If you can see the retina configuration, okay. So it is possible to, so where we can do the modification, okay. But just for my knowledge, okay. So you did any modification for any of the client, okay? You tested this scenario or not? I know
no,
actually this recommended, okay, to not change the proxy port. It is as per the technically okay. The just I'm asking, okay. So you tested, okay. Can we do the port changes on the configuration?
So we need to go inside the classes of the password safe appliance, and from there we can change. But why I was saying it is discouraged, because then we lose the warranty by Beyond Trust. So if we go ahead and ask them
Oh
that
yeah,
we are
yeah, yeah.
facing this issue,
Correct, correct.
so
Warranty is the one of the fact where
correct.
the
And
vendor
you
is recommended, okay.
correct. And then you mentioned about Retina. So Retina is now has reached end of life. It is no longer being used by password safe.
No, why I'm asking here, Ram, okay, you know, the psychotic, okay, so they are
I
having the option,
understand.
okay.
I
So
I
where you can do the
understand.
as per the customer requirement, okay. If the customer is not ready to keep this the custom port, okay, proxy port. So if it is possible to the change the proxy port, so that is the good, okay, as per the customer perspective.
Yeah, I hear you and I understand your perspective. However, that brings me to my another point, which I usually cover in the very beginning of the session. But thank you for reminding me. Uh, we come from different backgrounds. Some might be working on Psychotech, some might be working on CyberArk, some might be working on CFM. But when you are learning something, I recommend that you do not compare the tools. When you are proposing a solution to the customer, then is the best time to compare the tools. While you are learning, understand that each tool is different from the other. That's why they are the separate tools. Otherwise, they would have been merged long time ago. And it is generally not wise to compare them while you are learning. When you are actually implementing, when you are proposing them to a customer, that is must that at that time you compare the solutions and find out the best one. But when you are learning, you understand that this tool is as it is. But I understand your question was valid and justified, but I just wanted to add my point to that. So in the PAM tool, we are unable to change the port. If we change, we will lose the warranty.
Correct. This is the correct point. I think as per the warranty, okay, vendor warranty.
Yes. And I'm really sorry. Just give me a quick break. Someone is on the gate. Let me open the door. Thank you. Yeah, I'm back. All right.
Hello Ram, Surajit this side.
Yeah. Yes.
Just one question query actually from myself. The previous slide, right? The previous one. So there was like a resource broker, right? Like, can you just explain that what is actually the resource
Okay.
broker?
I will. I was going to explain you in the upcoming session.